Good morning, or good evening, good afternoon, YouTube fam, all the life learners on this planet Earth, in this universe. I hope that you're feeling great. If not, that you're on your way to feeling great watching this video today, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Okay, so today we are going to be discussing or talking about something serious. Felt like I've only ever put a few serious videos, like serious meaning like the video that I posted about my son's autism. I haven't really gotten back to that just yet, so I felt like this would be a great Kickstarter for really going into the direction of providing value to you guys through this channel. So today we are going to be talking about how to become the person you've always wanted to be. How to become the person you've always wanted to be. Not many of us have ever pondered on this question. When I thought about it, I was like, how many times do I actually ask myself, like, how do I want to be? Like, what's the best version of me that I wanted to be? So when I thought about it, I felt like this is actually an idea of how we could awaken ourselves if we're asleep, not knowing what we're really capable of. So this is why I came up on this topic. So yeah, we all have a purpose. You have a purpose. There's an adventure to each and every one of our lives, and because you've stumbled upon this video, I would say you are part of that maybe 5% of the people in the world who are actually starting to awaken their soul, their power, and really tap into that eternal version of you, because we all are eternal. We are powerful. If only you know how powerful you are. We are an extension of Source. And I know not every one of us are actually spiritual, but I'm sure you have been in that situation wherein you felt like there's no way out, and you're in this anxiety, you can't breathe, you don't know if you're going to survive what you're going through. But because you're watching this video, you've survived, definitely. So now let's get to the steps. How to become the person you've always wanted to be. Think about it. How to become the person that you've wanted to be. It's quite difficult, right? But yeah, I've done a few self-improvement like methods, I would say, and this is why I'm sharing this to you, because it's really powerful. It has really shifted my way of thinking and how I perceive my life. Every time I feel some negative emotions, I could always as easily think of positive things, and essentially I know what I'm going through, and I'm aware. At the same time, I'm struggling, but I'm aware that, you know, there's always the light at the end of the tunnel. So let's get back to business. I think the first and most important of how to become the person you've always wanted to be, the first step is to imagine who you could be and aim single-mindedly at that. So being truthful is being faithful, and you can't be truthful and faithful to someone else if you're not truthful and faithful to yourself. Being faithful to yourself, without that, you don't have the adventure of your life. For example, you might think that at work, as an example, you feel like you're undervalued. Well, you have to figure out what you would like to say about that. You need to express how you feel to your boss or your immediate manager. You need to also assess yourself in the most honest way possible. You know, when you're doubtful or feeling trapped, you got to ask yourself, well, why am I trapped? Why am I feeling trapped? And that's a really hard question, because some, or a lot of it, it's your own inadequacy, my own inadequacy. I'm not exempt. I also have my own inadequacies, and sometimes I don't want to face them, and that's why I'm stuck in certain aspects of life. We all go through this. You're not alone. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you, because I'm also in this journey of self-improvement. And even if it feels unfair, you just have to realize that you can do, and you must do everything in your most virtuous and powerful negotiating way to actually assess yourself and find out where your inadequacies are, and stop making excuses. You got to own up. You got to be accountable for your self-development. And you got to get the right details. Get your eyes on the prize. You have a goal. And you got to think like a snake. You have to be prepared. You have to know when to bite. And conceptualize success in some broad sense. So yeah, that's the first step. Imagine. Just close your eyes. Imagine who you could be. And aim at that. It's really powerful. I feel that energy of that phrase. I hope you're feeling positive right now too. Right. So the second step would be to build self-awareness. So this kind of builds up on the first step. So if you want to know something about yourself, you got to sit in prayer or meditation, however you want to call it. You can sit on your bed at night, face yourself, and ask yourself, my life is not everything I want it to be, and perhaps it's not everything I need it to be. You ask yourself, what's the one thing that I'm doing wrong that I could fix, that I would fix? And you just meditate on that, ponder on that, and I guarantee you get an answer. But it won't be the one that you want, but it will be the necessary one. I feel like this is the most difficult step to really identify. You ask yourself point blank, and your inner being, will show you the answers. And the hardest part is actually come to the realization that, okay, this is it, and you know what you're supposed to do, but are you going to take action? Have you have the guts and the motivation and really the willpower to switch your life? If you have the willpower to really turn your life around, it will be a challenging one. I'm telling you, it could be an answer that would cost you a lot, not in a monetary sense, and the thought of it overwhelms you. It's not going to be easy. It's simple. I didn't say it's easy. It's simple. It won't be easy. It will be a life-changing one. It did me, and it does. It still does. And because it's too massive a problem to solve, you would be inclined not to take action. In that case, be proactive. Practice micro improvement. You need to make micro improvements in your life. Otherwise, how are you going to be able to fix all those bigger issues? You have to, when you solve a problem, you have to break it up into pieces. So you have to micro improve your life. You can start by cleaning your bedroom, making up your room, maybe take a brush and clean your toilet. Yeah. Do real on the ground micro improvements, and on the things that you know that are wrong, you'll make massive improvement. And you'll feel good. And slowly, if you're feeling like you're in a rut, it's hard to actually it's hard to do anything. It's hard to take action because you just don't feel like it. Start by cleaning out your room, and you will immediately start to feel lighter, at least in a positive way, because if you're in a clean space, it really does lift up your energy. So start from there. Now the third step is speak the truth. Treat people with respect and abide by the principles of the dignity of the individual. Don't be envious of the other people. Don't be envious of their success. You don't want someone else's fate. Your fate is enough. Your adventure in this life is good enough. It's plenty, I would say. It's more than you can actually fully realize in this lifetime. If you're in the dire streak, just look at all the opportunities you have to make it better. Like for me, I kind of felt saturated with work, with what I'm currently doing right now at work. But instead of complaining, I thought, okay, So I actually have, this extra time. What could I do to make use of that time and also provide value, and that also is meaningful for me to spend my time on? So that's why I did start this YouTube channel, because I really want to reach out to people who are also just like me, and I want you guys to be in this journey with me. I don't know where this channel is going to go, but I'm positive. I'm feeling positive, and I only have good intentions, and I want to create meaningful and valuable content that would help everyone, all the lost souls. Just, I hope that you also want to grow with me. So that's that. The fourth step is to remember that struggle is important. Struggle is important. It's part of life. Life will give you a contrast to everything, because we're supposed to be expanding. We're not supposed to stay stagnant. So we are built to walk uphill, and when you reach the pinnacle of the hill, you want to stop and appreciate the view, the vision, but the next thing is you want a higher hill, and it's in the distance, because it's from the uphill climb that we deliver value. And I mean this technically. So you want a goal that you can never attain, or it's so high, so you can always move closer to the goal. It's like the famous saying, aim for the stars and maybe you can reach the moon or Mars, because I think Mars is more interesting than the moon, if I say so myself. So it's like Sisyphus pushing the rock uphill, but it's not, because as you pursue the goal and put yourself together, your life does get better and richer, especially if you provide value to other people and provide service, and your life becomes more abundant. That's why the highest levels of virtue and goal, or in some sense transcendent, you want them to be above everything you're doing, so you can continually move towards something that's more sublime and better. That's what you're here for, to live, not to sleep. We're not here to live in the lap of luxury. You don't want to be a giant infant with a giant bottle. You never have to do anything but lay on your back and suck on the bottle. That's not really a fulfilling life. That's not what life is meant for. And the fifth and final one is that we need to listen with the intent to understand. So like if you've got a friend in your life or a partner that you want to encourage to come out of that place of disparity, how do you empower them without overpowering them or making them feel inadequate, which is sometimes the consequence of trying to change someone you love? Well, my friends, you need to remove yourself of the notion that you know what's best for this person. Not only do you not know, you actually don't want that responsibility for two reasons. Because for example, they do what you say and something good happens to them and they become victorious. Is that victory yours or theirs? If it's yours, did you just steal it? And then let's just say they failed following your advice. Will you pay for the price for that? And can you just skip away merrily and tell yourself or tell other people you should have spoken more carefully? So your questions, your statements should be honest. And if you ask people questions, you really should listen. Listen with the intent to understand, not listen with the intent to respond. And when you do, you'll find that people will just entangle themselves, and that's probably why people love to be attended to. You don't solve other people's problems, you just want to listen, because people have the power and the capacity to solve their own problems. You just got to be there and help them find the answers for themselves. If you listen, people will tell you what they'll have to say. And because, of course, you've collected all that information, all that data, you'll end up like smarter than you were before, having been able to talk to these people. Last but not the least, aim to be good and pray for happiness. There's no way to happiness but through. It sounds easier than done. You can start by looking for all the evidence and reasons to be thankful for when you wake up each day, because each day is a blessing to try again, to make it better than it was yesterday and when you went to bed, because every day is a chance, and it's up to you how good you want to make it, how great you want to make it. And like for me personally, I catch myself every time I think negatively about someone or anyone for that matter. I will then ask myself, why am I feeling this to other person? Is it because I feel this about myself? It's always true. You can't possibly love another if you don't love yourself. And think about why you're feeling negatively or like feeling jealousy, bitterness to other people, is because you feel that within yourself. So that's I've always been practicing that personally. It's always a constant battle. Sometimes when it's, you know, I feel so negative, it's such a bad neighborhood up there in my head, so I had to constantly calibrate and observe and catch myself early, because I know when I think negatively, it's not good for me. And my body tells me, and your body will tell you, when I'm not in a good place vibrationally. I can always feel the tension when I'm feeling depressed. Sometimes I feel a tension in my jaw. I feel this energy blockage here. When I'm angry, I get nasal congestion. Yeah, so it is real, my friends. Emotions can heal or destroy you. So you better make sure you aim to be good and pray for happiness. Pray for happiness for everyone, because whatever you give out is what you are. You don't see the world as it is, you see it as you are. So if you're feeling abundant, you see an abundant world. If you're in a place of lack, the world will never be enough for you. Like you would say, there's no better people in this world. But if you think positively, the universe will give you all the things it has to offer. It's infinite. It's beautiful. So I guess this is the end of this topic for the day. I will see you next week with another exciting and juicy and valuable content. I really enjoyed making this, guys, and I hope that you take away something good today and be enough to guide you through the week of your lives. So again, thank you. Please spread love and happiness. I wish you well. I'm sending you all the positive vibes the universe has to offer. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.